Okay, in this presentation we are going to look at DataFrames. So just doing a quick inspection of DataFrame. So we're using Jupyter Notebooks and we're using Julia version 1.6.1. So there's two packages we're going to use, or datasets. This brings in datasets that are commonly used for examples in the R programming language. Books using the feature R exercises probably use these datasets. So essentially the point of the package is to make them available so that you can do similar sort of exercises with Julia. Also, we're using the DataFrames package here, which is essentially allows us to use all the functionality that we're about to use when we're looking at datasets. Okay, DataFrames. So let's just use that, set that up. It just might take a moment. There we go. That took a bit longer than expected. It's just I got processes going on in the background that does not help. So we have 11 rows and 8 columns, and we have 8 columns there, x1, x2, x3, x4, and then y1, y2, y3, y4. We're also told the types of each column there, so we got a couple of int 64s and then float 64s. Okay, I'm using a 64-bit machine. Okay, now, okay, so that allows us to have a sort of a look over what's going on there. What we can do there is just actually take out the size. Okay, just look at the size immediately. So the first dimension there is the number of rows. Dimension 1 is 11 and dimension 2 is 8. That is the number of columns. We can check the type there. So it's data frame. Okay, and so far so good. This is useful here. This is in other programming languages. You might be familiar with the head command, which prints out the top. So if you want to have a quick inspection of it without printing up the whole data frame, this is what you could use. So essentially in Julia it's called first. Okay, and you just have to specify how many rows that you want to look at from the top there. So let's just run that. There we go. This is a small data set. It's only 11 rows, but you know, we could be talking about 50,000 in other data sets. Okay, so there we go. First 5 columns, first 5 rows. Okay, and that will give us a sort of sense of what we're looking at. If we don't want to open up the full data set, we can just get a sense of what we're looking at just from that. Likewise, there's an equivalent one called last, which is, you know, just gives us the last ones. That's it. Okay, if there's any sort of ordering variables there, that might give you some indication. If we want to take out the names, okay, remember we could be dealing with a very wide data frame, and as such, like let's say 30 or 40 variables, it won't fit in a Jupyter notebook so easily. So what we might be able to do there is actually just take them out and just read them there in a much more convenient format there as an 8-element vector. Okay, so let's just wrap this up with a describe. Now this will give us a numerical summary of each of the variables. Okay, so it gives us the min, the min, so the mean, the min, the median, the max, the number missing, and the type. Okay, of course the symbol name there as well. Okay, so if there was categorical variable there, that would have the relevant information also concerning the number missing and the type. It probably wouldn't give you means or anything like that. Okay, so yeah, that's it. That's just a sort of quick way of like opening up a data frame and having a look at it and see what is inside. Okay, we'll leave it there.